Welcome back, dear viewers. You pick up an ordinary-looking $1 coin and your brain instantly labels it as small money, nothing special, something you can spend without thinking. But then you see the words APEC Australia 2007 and everything changes. Because that's not a random design. That's a real global event stamped into a coin that can still slip through hands unnoticed. And today on Legacy Coins USA, we're treating this coin the way collectors do, not the way the average person does. We're going deep into what it is, why it exists, what details separate a normal example from a premium example, and how to check if yours is just a cool commemorative or something with real collector demand. The first thing that makes the APEC Australia $1 coin interesting is the type of coin it is. It's commemorative, but it's also the kind of commemorative that can show up in everyday change. That single fact creates the perfect treasure hunt. Coins that circulate get damaged, scratched, and worn down, which means truly clean survivors become harder to find as time passes. So while many people chase old silver or ancient coins, smart collectors also watch modern commemoratives for one simple reason: the date isn't always the story, survival is. If a coin was made to be spent, then finding one that looks like it never really got spent can become the challenge, and the challenge is what creates value. Now let's talk about the history behind the letters that most people ignore. APEC is short for Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, a major forum that brings together economies across the Pacific region. In 2007, Australia hosted APEC, and Sydney became a focal point for international attention. When a country places that on currency, it's more than patriotic branding. It's a time marker. It's the official memory of a year when the country wanted to say, this mattered, this was a moment we were part of, and we're recording it in metal. That's why event coins are so collectible. They're not just money. They're a frozen headline you can hold. Flip the coin to the Elizabeth II side and slow down, because that portrait side is one of your authenticity anchors. The portrait style, the lettering, and the rim shape tell you whether the coin matches the era it claims. Collectors don't just glance at the Queen's portrait and move on. They look at how sharp the details are in the hair, the face, the lettering around the rim, and whether the surfaces look original or messed with. On modern coins, surface quality is everything. A coin can be real, commemorative, and still be considered low value if it's been cleaned, polished, or heavily abused. In other words, collectors don't reward shine, they reward originality. Now we go back to the APEC design side and treat it like a map. Every commemorative reverse has a certain feel to it, and the APEC one has that clean, modern layout that shows where fast. Here's what you look for: are the high points smooth and flattened, or do they still look crisp and sculpted? Do the fields, the open flat areas, look like they've been dragged across tables for years, or do they still have that fresh, even texture? Are the letters sharp with squared edges, or are they rounded from circulation? This is where you create a strong moment for your viewers. You tell them to pause the video and hold their coin under a single bright light. Tilt it slowly and watch what happens. A coin with original surfaces reflects in a different way than a coin that's been cleaned or worn down. Now let's get serious about the biggest mistake people make when they think they found a valuable coin. They clean it. They polish it. They try to make it look new. And in the collector world, that's the fastest way to turn a potentially premium coin into a problem coin. Cleaning leaves fine hairlines that look like scratches under light, and it creates an unnatural brightness that experienced collectors spot instantly. Even worse, cleaning can remove the thin original surface texture that proves the coin hasn't been altered. So if you think your APEC $1 is special, treat it like evidence. Hold it by the edges only. Don't rub it. Don't wash it. Put it somewhere safe while you check the facts. Now we step into the part that makes people lean closer to the screen: the difference between a normal coin and a variety, and the difference between a variety and an error. A variety is when something in the design or production setup changed in a small but measurable way across different dies or batches. An error is when something went wrong during striking or planchet preparation, creating a coin that is physically different from the intended result. With $1 coins, collectors watch for things like off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, strike-through effects, and die breaks that create raised lumps or cracks. The reason errors matter is because they're not just rare, they're one-of-one experiences. Two people can own the same commemorative, but an error makes your coin a unique story, and unique stories sell. But you also need the professional warning that separates a serious channel from the hype channels. A lot of strange-looking coins are just damaged coins. A coin that's been scraped, squeezed, heat-exposed, or chemically altered can look wild, but collectors usually call that post-mint damage, and post-mint damage almost never adds value. The simplest rule is this: real mint errors usually look systematic and integrated into the strike, while damage looks random and violent. If a coin has weird gouges, rough edges, or unnatural color, that's often a sign it lived a hard life, not that it was born rare. When you explain that clearly, your audience trusts you more, and trust is what keeps people coming back. Another deep collector layer is how these coins are collected in the real world. People don't just collect one coin. They build sets. Some build $1 type sets, some build commemorative event sets, some collect by year, some chase high-grade examples, and some chase only errors. That matters because demand is created by collectors trying to finish something. If an APEC coin is easy to find in worn condition but difficult to find in truly uncirculated condition, then uncirculated coins get fought over. And when collectors start competing, the coin doesn't need to be ancient to be valuable. It just needs to be hard to find in the form the market wants. If you want to sound truly expert in your video, talk about grading without turning it into a lecture. Grading is simply a way of describing how close your coin is to the condition it left the mint. A coin that still has strong mint luster, sharp edges on letters, minimal contact marks, and no cleaning sign sits in a different class than a coin that's dull and scratched. And when a coin is genuinely high-end, collectors often choose professional certification because it locks in authenticity and condition, making it easier to sell or insure. The key is knowing when it's worth it. Most coins don't need grading. Only the best examples or clear errors usually justify it. Now we bring the viewer back to action, because a long script still needs momentum. Tell them exactly what to do right now. Check the coin's surfaces for originality. Check the sharpness of the design. Check the rim for damage. Compare it to another $1 coin if they have one, because differences jump out when you have a reference. If something looks truly off, don't assume it's valuable, document it. Take clear photos in natural light, straight on, both sides, plus close-ups of the strange area. That's how real collectors work. They don't guess. They verify. And now, only at the end, the price talk in words, kept honest and serious. A typical circulated APEC Australia $1 coin is usually worth about $1. A cleaner uncirculated example can bring a few dollars. A proof or special collector quality example, if identified correctly by its sharper strike and superior surfaces, can bring tens of dollars. A dramatic, authenticated mint error can reach into the hundreds of dollars, depending on how obvious it is and how strong collector demand is at the time. Thanks for watching and don't forget subscribe to my channel.